Nuzlocks are a self-imposed challenge that requires the player to complete a game with a limited amount of resources, usually being limited party members, and if they lose a battle they delete their save file and restart the game. But what if we tried that in Persona? Well, turns out, several people have tried. There are several people on YouTube who have tried this challenge, but there is yet to be a video of somebody who completed it. So I've decided, I'm going to be the first one to complete a Persona 5 Royal Nuzlocke. The rules I'm setting for this challenge are simple. I can only get one persona per palace. I can't get any in Mementos. No overleveling the next boss. If a party member dies, I can't use them or their social link, and if Joker dies, then sucks to sucks, delete the save, and restart the game. Also, no New Game Plus or DLC personas because they are very, very good. I am also going to be skipping the entire story because I do not want to spoil it for anybody. Now with all that out of the way, let's jump right into the first palace. After playing through the intro to the game for the millionth time, I head into Kamoshida's castle. I go through the window, spy on Kamoshida, recruit Pixie, and find my way to the next safe room. Afterwards, Anna comes in and gets taken to the bedroom in the palace. We rush to help her, which turns out not to be necessary because she can beat the boss by herself. 2 fire spells and all-out attacks, and the fight is over. We take Anna out, and she peer pressures us to going back into the palace with her. I sneak my way through the palace, only to be caught by every damn shadow in there. Literally 2 encounters in the game leaves me at 85% gauge. Eventually I get the ability to become invisible, surprise a few shadows, get the map, and get spotted again. The shadow was literally a mile away and saw me. I beat the fight and almost got kicked out of the palace at 96% gauge. After hiding like a little bitch for a minute, I finally get to the next safe room. I then get turned on by a shadow because he actually saw me at the top of the stairs and then did the biggest bait in the history of the game. My man was literally behind the wall and turned and saw me. Thankfully, the AI in this game isn't the best, and Morgana is able to bail me out. I'm now at 100% gauge and I can't fight another battle. I promise I'm not throwing for content. I evade all the rest of the fights and get past the chain maze and into the next safe room. I go through every single fight ambushing them, except for this one, because you know the game spawns random baddies at random locations and just randomly wants to jump scare you. Regardless, I get into the sex chamber, get the map, beat down the exploding personas, and then get to the next safe room. Next up was the Heavenly Punisher fight. I also got Bicorn here because I need him for a future fusion later in this palace. The Heavenly Punisher fight was really easy. I spent money getting better armor for Ryuji, Anna, and Morgana. This way they can guarantee to take one hit from the boss. The boss also never will attack Joker unless he's the last one alive. So Joker was free to attack and debuff his attacks. 3 minutes later, he goes down. I continued through the palace getting 2 woe seeds and getting roadblocked by the scythes. To get past the scythes, you need 2 eyes from the bosses. They are pretty weak though and die in 2 hits to thunder. I get through the treasure, make my way to the waterfall, and fight the king, as the game puts it. He dies to sleep in technical damage though. Now for the boss fight, but first I have to grind up. I literally ran between the first and second safe room for an hour till I was up to Kamoshida's level. Level 11. I also used slime with my Bicorn to resist all Kamoshida's physical moves. Kamoshida has a very strong phase 1, he has good physical damage, attack buffs, and a glass of wine. I took slime into the fight and gave him Taruna to buff his attacks, and gave the Wool Seed item to Ryuji so he could heal. Eventually we make him eat his students, I think, and then we break his cup. I debuffed his attack earlier so I could tank the first volleyball attack, and then kill Shido so I don't have to tank the second one. After Kamoshida runs out of slaves, the fight gets easy. He only does 1 attack per turn, and I could debuff that attack and heal, so it was really easy to take him down. I actually do end up going for the crown, but I failed to get it. Twice actually. Because I'm mad I can't have nice things, I beat him up the old-fashioned way. Afterwards, On takes him out like Old Yeller, and we don't see him for the rest of the game. Kanashiro's palace is complete, and we're moving on to Madarame's. Madarame's palace is pretty uneventful until Morgana goes and touches the trophy. After correcting his fuck up for the millionth time, we fight the treasure demon, which we easily capture due to getting the nuke accessory. It then hits me. For the rest of the game, I'm only going to be going for treasure demons as my captures. This is because I want them for future fusions, and I can't get them in Mementos due to my rules. We make our way to the door, only to be told we need to have a social interaction with Yusuke to go any further in the palace. Luckily, we volunteer on, and she gets the door open. We walk in, beat up the boss after Ryuji throws away my money, shut down the security system, and get out. On brings Yusuke into the palace by stripping or something, who knows, they don't explain shit well in this game, and we make our way out the palace. We get stopped by Madarame, who wants to fight, but Yusuke awakens to his persona and makes this fight easy-ish, kind of. Yusuke hits an ice attack, then passes the Joker, who kills the rest of the goons. The boss here, however, is really scary. My man does over 120 damage with an attack debuff. I eventually manage to kill him though with magic, and we run out the palace. Yusuke joins the team. The rest of the palace is pretty uneventful. I kill the first mini-boss with a lucky crit, go through the picture maze, admire some paintings, and kill the next mini-boss with thunder. With that out the way, we finish the palace and are ready for the Madarame fight at level 18. In this fight, I use spotlights to carry me. Spotlights are an item that forces your opponent to attack the party member it is casted on. So I used them on Joker, and equipped it to Persona Shiki Oji, which is no to any physical attacks, so the mouth could not hit him. Ryuji and Yusuke killed the eyes and the nose, and a team effort was made to beat the mouth. The second phase was even easier than the first. All I had to do was just hit the weaknesses, baton pass, and kill all the clones while doing damage to Madarame. After getting through that laughingstock of a boss, Yusuke steals a painting, tells his master to fuck off, and then we hightail it out of there. Onto the third palace. This palace has to be the worst one in the game as far as gameplay goes. It is tough to complete because several enemies know very strong physical moves and can crit you and one-shot you. So I must have come in with a plan to win every battle easily, right? Nope. Yusuke died in the Makoto Awakening battle. To a crit. This battle was a nightmare. You had to fight two Onis who both knew Rampage. After the fight, we said our goodbyes to Yusuke and started to complete the palace. The beginning of the palace went by easy enough though. The horses died to ice attacks. I killed Oni with Joker by himself because Shikioji is insane. I used sleep and forget on the first Key Guardian, and then nuke on the second. Then came the elevator guards fight. This fight was tough since the Golden Knight in the middle had no weaknesses. Luckily I got a shock on him, because Makoto's trait is insane, and Ryuji is my best friend. The bosses went down and the crisis was averted. Thank God. I could not lose anybody else in this palace. I went to the next mini boss with my BRB sign up because I'm the smartest man in all the land. A combo of forget skills and Ryuji crits gets the job done though. With the final fight done in the palace, I'm able to fight Kanashiro. The piggy bank phase was easy enough. Just to buff his attack, give up an item, and beat him down till the bank breaks. The second phase was a clusterfuck though. Kanashiro manages to sleep my entire team, and Makoto survives an attack with 8 HP. I then kill the boss in one turn using technical damage, and by Kanashiro emptying his pockets in one turn. Yeah, I don't get that move either. After that, we rob him blind for killing Yusuke, and fall to our deaths. The third palace was beat. Now, Futaba's palace is probably the easiest in the game. There are 3 bosses you need to beat. The fight with Garuda, and Mark twice. The Garuda fight is simple enough, just solo with Joker because he only uses wind magic. After that, we give Futaba her thingy back, get set to the depths of hell, do some puzzles, and secure the treasure room. The mod fights are simple, just make sure you hit them with sleep and forget so they skip their turns. They went down easy, just like the boss of this palace. You see there is a persona called Aarhabaki. He is known to physical attacks and has the skill Makarakarn, which reflects one magical attack. Wakaba only uses physical attacks with the occasional wind attack. However, she can only use that wind attack on one of her 2 turns, meaning if I use my Karakan every turn, she can't hit me. I beat this boss without taking any damage with Joker by himself. Akumo's Palace is next, and thankfully it was another easy one. Kill the fiance with Psychic and the goons with Fire, which finally gets us Haru, everyone's favorite party member. Next up is getting the key card. I hit all the executive bosses with their weaknesses so I can get the card, go through the door, and further into the palace. The last fight is 3 waves of yellow goons, but they are weak to ice and psychic, so they go bye bye bye. After the maze that everyone hates but is actually not that bad, we find the treasure and get ready for the boss fight. The first 4 waves of this boss go down easy. Just hit weaknesses and use Baton Pass. The 5th wave is another simple wave. Just use items to strengthen the Baton Pass and finish them off. The 6th wave is the Executive Robo. He's a big damage sponge which is simple enough to deal with. I used Forget on him so he couldn't use any skills and he went down pretty quick. Until he got to low HP. In this state, he uses his Big Bang Order attack over and over and over again. This attack does a lot of damage and it's pretty hard to do damage while guarding and healing at the same time. I should have taken Morkoto out at this point since Morgana is the better healer, and he would have made this battle a lot easier for me. Eventually though, I take him down, watch Haru kill herself, and take out the fat ass in the chair. Next is the casino. We break into the casino, talk to Sai, easily dispatch a cheetah with swords, and start the hunt for the key card. After jumping from cover to cover for a long time, we run into the first battle, which is 2 Queen Map, where we're weak to win and let this be a reminder I play this game on merciless mode. The next fight is versus an elephant who we get the drop on. He's weak to psychic, so we kill him pretty quickly. After we grab the card, we head up into the dice room. It's actually rigged, so we broke a vent and killed the boss. After that, we go into the slots room where we fight yet another boss who almost kills me, but Morgana punches him out easy. We head into the big slot room, hack the system, get the cash, and punch our ticket to the high limit floor. We fight another boss along the way who can heal and do big wind and thunder damage. Joker does get a lucky freeze and Akechi does get a lucky crit, so this fight is won. After that, we wait for the day, go to court, and then go back to the palace. Back in the casino, we go through the maze, only get stopped by a man who is mad we cheated through his cheating maze full of cheats. Not that happy I said that either. The boss uses thunder spells, so Ryuji and An help a lot in this fight. It's a bit of a grind, but we bring him down. Next is the solo arena, which, let me remind you, Shikioji is insane and can only be hit by the last opponent. After that, we go to the bridge, only to be stopped by Sai, only to be stopped by Akechi. This palace is complete, and now on for the Sai fight. Sai's fight starts with their cheating the rules of the betting game, but since we don't like rules, we cheat and expose bitch. This causes her to go berserk and start the actual fight. She spins the wheel and attacks. I did use a spotlight on Joker, however, because that way I can make her attack him while the others in the party do what they want. Ryuji used Presidential Insights to use Concentrate on Joker. An used the Champion's Cup to boost Joker's attack, along with items to support the team. And Akechi used Bleeding Dry Brush to make a Joker absorb every single attack I can use. Using this strategy, we get past the first phase. When she goes into the Almighty phase, the fight gets interesting. Slightly more interesting. Joker can't block all her attacks, but she gets hit by every attack in the game that we have. She does have a severe Almighty attack, but since this game's AI isn't the best, she never uses it. She goes down and it's on to the next one. Shido's Palace has several fights. The first one is the Politician. He uses Concentrate, Tarukaja, Rakukaja, and Ice damage. However, he is weak to psychic damage, so he goes down pretty quick thanks to Haru and Joker. After going through the mouse maze, I get to the pool deck where I fight the Noble. He uses Brainwash and psychic damage. He is weak to lightning though, so he goes down pretty quickly. After more puzzles, I run into the Cleaner who drops some demon goats on me, but they have short-term memory loss and are weak to light magic, so too bad, so sad. After a quick swim in the pool, we fight the TV President, and this ends quickly because I get the literal luckiest first turn in existence in the whole game. Morgana almost dies though, but we get together and the fight ends as quickly as it starts. Onto the IT man. After some more rep puzzles and a fight with the cleaner again, we get back to the dining room, then take the food to the top of the ship to fight the IT man. Even though he is weak to nuke, he has dodged nuke to consistently avoid it. However, the elemental items in this game skip the accuracy check, making them always hit and give me baton passes. Using this tactic, along with triple down, makes this fight a joke. We then make our way to the cleaner's office, killing more demon goats in the process. Onto the cleaner fight. In all honesty, I should have only used Joker in this fight. None of the attacks the cleaner has can hit Shiki-Oji. Instead, I go in with a team and this fight turns out to be a struggle. I use the strategy of Ryuji using presidential insights to give Joker a concentrate, using On to debuff the attack as well as boost Joker's attack, and Makoto to support with healing and defensive buffs. He goes down eventually, but this should have been a fight Joker had done solo. After getting the letter, Akechi comes out and demands to fight because he is mad. I dispatch the 2 demons he summons, then he runs in like Naruto, probably because he wants to believe he can win. However, he only has physical, light, and dark skills, which Shiki-Oji and Abaddon, who I've used to help with the Shido fight, null and drain. Spotlights again make this fight easy. He can do heavy almighty damage though, but he can't even break 120 with it. Next phase is pretty challenging if I didn't have spotlights. I use one and now Akechi is forced to attack me. And since I can't be hit by physical attacks, the first phase ends quickly. He eventually goes into a magic based phase, but he doesn't have any real damage besides an almighty attack that can hit Joker. All of my teammates have Endure and Final Guard, so it turns out this phase is also a joke of a fight. Sad he cannot beat us, he ends up passing the torch to us to kill Shido, which I put off for the entire month. I needed time to grind up. I took Makoto and On to the Jazz Club so I could get more endurance and HP on them, and to have Makoto learn Debilitate. With all that done, I head into the fight, at level 63, using Metatron, Siegfried, and Sabelle. The first phase of the fight has Shido using physical skills, while the second phase has him using magical skills. I've had him using the same plan as the cleaner fight, along with Makoto using Debilitate and Joker using Almighty. The third phase has him just using Almighty attacks, but he can only attack one person a turn, so it's easy to outpace him and kill him. Now the fight gets fun. The fourth and fifth phases of this battle have him using strong physical and magical skills, along with Tyrant's Purge. This move insta-kills one party member. Now you can use items that allow you to survive insta-kills, but your own character's Endure procs first, meaning you do not have another Endure to survive in case you die from something else. After he hits Makoto with this, I immediately have to bring her out, but Shido does not stop there, oh no. He hits every single one of my team members with this attack. Then this man freezes my team and hits me hard enough that I have to use Final Guard. Eventually I'm able to hurt him enough to get to the last phase, but I almost lost the run here. The last phase is pretty easy though. He follows an attack order, so all of his moves are predictable. I just swap around my personas and kill him. This fight took 30 minutes to win, and it was a grueling 30 minutes to win. Ryuji dies in the cutscene afterwards, but then gets resurrected, only to have all the girls kill him again. Now we go to the Mementos Palace. The Mementos Palace itself is not that hard. The first boss is the guys who use Revolution and Godfist. Thankfully they are weak to win and I can still get some value out of Morgana. Next is the ambush fight, but they go down quick being weak to Thunder. Finally is 2 thrones, but they are weak to Nuke, and I have a persona with Nuke and Relentless, which makes this fight very easy. Now time for the 2 scripted fights with the Holy Grail. Before this fight, I've used Yoshitsune, because I want the ability Firm Stance, which halves all incoming damage to Joker. With this, I become unkillable. Makoto casts Debilitate and healing spells, and everybody else piles on the damage. Phase 1 ends quick, and Phase 2 not long after. However, we die afterwards and get sent to the Velvet Room. I've used the twins and meet the real Igor, who tells me I have to fight God at the top of the skyscraper. After we break out the Velvet Room, we begin the boss rush up to the Holy Grail. I critical hit all the angels though, so they die pretty quickly. The only tough one is Michael, because he has supporting angels and he lands a critical hit on Ryuji, almost killing him. Put simply, the Holy Grail fight is difficult. The first phase can be beaten by using Charge Hasatobi after we cut the wires. The second phase has us going against the God of Control. The fight starts off well for us until he pulls out his little friends. He makes our skills cost double, brainwashes us, and throws everything at us except for the kitchen sink. I am able to do huge damage with Hasatobi and am able to bring him down eventually. He didn't even get the chance to use his ultimate attack. After the fight, Joker awakens us in denial, shoots old Yari, and we say goodbye to Morgana, our second death in the run. Only one palace left. Maruki's palace starts off with Joker, Akechi, and Kasumi going solo. You run into the guards, but they are weak to light, which Kasumi uses so it's quick work. The next fight is two red dragons. I managed to get a shock on one, and then take out the other. After that, there is the whole scene where Kasumi realizes she is to marry, and Maruki kidnaps her and we fight his butler. This demon is tough to take down because he knows how the almighty and wind skills. I have Akechi debuff him, and Joker deal damage. We kill him, he heals, kills us, and then we hit him with the old 1-2 step to win. We get kicked out of the palace, and I need to talk with all my party members to convince them that they should run from their dreams and embrace the dark side of the force. After the week, we go back into the palace, head to the arena, and fight Sumeri, who can't hit Shikioji. After we beat her, Maruki gives her the goods, and we're forced to fight a better her. The first part is scripted, so I just focus on surviving. We can't beat the boss, but the homies pull up, and now we can go to town. The goons Maruki summons are weak to ice and nuke, so I'm able to one-shot them and then work on the big persona girl. She goes down, we save the girl who doesn't want to be saved, and I don't want to continue this joke, so let's go to the palace, okay? Alright. The first run through of the palace is pretty easy. Sumeri's awakening fight is simple due to the demons being weak to light, and while Sumeri does heavy light damage. Next fight is versus Cerberus and a guy who tasted the rainbow, but they are not that hard either. We end up getting some keycards and squaring off against a black witch and a knight in shining armor. The witch is hard because it knows powerful magic and physical spells, but just like the rest of the game, I hit it with 2 lucky criticals and it goes down. The gang runs into the pipes and we're forced to back and go to Mementos. After we climb the floors to disable the pipes, we go back in the palace for round 2. Back in the palace, we're forced to learn more about Maruki's love life. I use Google to answer some questions and then take on 2 more bosses, Cert and Siegfried. Cert does severe physical, nuke, and fire skills. Looking back, if I just gave Joker a persona that knowed all those attacks, I would have been good. I take in the usual gang into the fight, and I'm able to gun him down pretty quick. Killing Cert allows me to go to heaven, which is a big puzzle maze. Regardless, I solve it and win to Siegfried. This fight was simple enough due to the fact that Ryuji has over a 70% chance to shock foes with his lightning attacks. This allows Makoto to do big damage with the concentrate from On, which she can't do now because I taught her her 3rd tier persona ability. With him down, Maruki is the only boss left in the game I need to beat. After a month of prep, I head into the fight. I bring Ryuji, Makoto, and Sumeri. The first phase is simple, just baton pass to kill all the tentacles and deal damage to Maruki. He does do quite a bit of damage, but nothing I can't handle. After a few Hasatobis, the first phase is over. In the second phase, the tentacles change attributes, and he turns on his cheat codes that limit our movesets. But he learns that Hasatobi don't care about his cheats, and the gang kills him. We take the treasure, only to have Maruki awaken to Adam. Adam is a big scary dude that does a lot of damage. No, seriously. Adam does some of the most almighty damage in the game, while also healing at the same time. Thankfully, Firm Stance has all damage, and Joker is able to live his attacks while dealing damage. I had a few jump scares in the fight, but he goes down. Afterwards, we fight him again, where he can use the Fist of Justice, but we catch a punch and Joker pops him in the head. Morgana flies us out, and Joker has a good 1v1 versus Maruki. After we knock him off a cliff, the challenge is complete, and the game is over. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really enjoyed this run and highly recommend it to anyone interested. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll do another challenge run, maybe, I don't know, hopefully. I also stream this entire run if you want to watch on my Twitch, and also want to watch me play Pokemon on Twitch or Valorant or something. With that being said, I'm out. Subscribe if you like, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.